Hey everyone, my name is Carlos, co-founder here at DataGrant. For the past several weeks, we've been focusing on making DGi extremely reliable. We've done several benchmarks, and actually we've released them, where DGi now is about 30% better than any other system out there for data analysis. We've compared DGi to OpenAI, Grok, Replit V0, among others. Today, we're going the next step. We're launching computer use. The reason we're launching computer use is because we've seen in several use cases that our users want to go to a specific website, fetch information, and do a specific operation or summary based on that information. So today I want to show you an end-to-end demo where we're going to go to a specific website, grab the information automatically. The system is going to fetch the stocks that this account in X, the long investor, recommends. And with that information, we're going to fetch data from a database, from my Supabase database, where I store all the Russell 500 stocks. It's going to find those specific recommendations. It's going to run a simple moving average, and it's going to tell me finally which stocks I should buy based on that initial recommendation. So the first step here is, let me share my screen and let me show you DGi and how this looks. All right, so this is the initial screen. I'm just going to hide this, and I'm going to send this initial prompt. The prompt says, I want to connect to my Supabase PostgreSQL database, please. And this is the first difference from DGi, because we've seen many people argue that MCPs are going to be the next big thing. Others go and say, hey, we're building all the connections from scratch. In our case, we believe that AI is ready to make these connections automatically. So that's what DGi is doing here. It's training, it's understanding which fields it needs to make the connection. It's going to ask us for that information. As you can see here, it says, please fill out the information. I'm just going to scroll down here. It also recognizes here that we're going to need the session pooler from Supabase. And then I just have to fill out the information. Once I fill out this information, it's going to be able to build on the fly the connection without the need of having an MCP or an actually hard-coded connection, which is a big deal because the AI at this point is going to build everything on the fly instead of having to rely on pre-built connections, right? So I'm just going to build, I'm going to add all of this information really quick. So let's see. So my connection name is stocks database. The description is PostgreSQL database for stocks. I'm just going to add the host here. I'm going to add the port. I'm going to add the name, which indeed is Postgres. And, you know, it's really nice that the AI is even recommending what I should add there. The user, perfect. The password, and here's my password. Just need to make sure that I make this right. Password right here. And SSL mode set to require. All right, now I added all of my information right here, and I'm just going to hit save connection, right? Now, the important part of this is that it's saving the data in a metadata store. You can access the metadata store right here, where it's storing all the information with double encryption, right? So all of these credentials have been safely saved with double encryption in a metadata store. And the system, once it runs code, is going to access those credentials with M variables. So all of your information is securely stored here in DGi. Now, here's the next step. I'm going to copy and paste a prompt that I did before, which what it does is what I mentioned before. It's going to go to Twitter, or to X, excuse me. I think it's calling it Twitter still. And it's going to go to the long investor. And it's going to search for the first 10 tweets, right, where this guy recommends some stocks. And then what I'm telling the system is, hey, I want you to create Python code that fetches from my FinHub table that's in my stocks database, the stocks that this guy is recommending, and do a simple moving average, right? So then what I want you to do is to create Python code that fetches from my in my stocks database. What I want you to do is create Python that fetches from my FinHub table in my stock database the stocks that the long investor is recommending, and then run a simple moving average on these stocks and tell me which one you recommend me to invest in. So I'm going to run this prompt, and let's see what happens. So the first thing that should happen is that it's going to trigger the computer operator, right? Where we go to Twitter or to X and we start fetching for the information. So it seems that that's starting to happen. So it opens the browser. Now we should go to X, to the URL that I gave it. Let's see how it goes. Perfect. It found the profile. It's now scrolling. It's looking at the profile. Airline captain. It's now scrolling. Looking good. It's understanding that there's a pinned tweet, which is awesome. And now it's just scrolling more to see if it can find tickers. It's just showing that it found JP Morgan, BRK. Now it should recognize Palantir. We'll see. Yeah, it's recognizing Palantir right there. Now it's looking at MSTR, which we can see in that November 20 tweet. Scrolling more. Now it should recognize HIMS. The nice thing is that, look, it's understanding if it's bullish or not based on the tweets, which is what we asked, right? So it's pretty awesome. Now, how this process works is that, the computer user is going to go through all of these tweets, as I mentioned, as I asked, and then we're going to go through an agentic system where it's going to try to connect to the database. After connecting to the database, it's going to explore the data. After that, it's going to generate code, etc. So there's a lot going on in the back end to try to make this reliable, and hopefully one-shot it, even though it's a very complex process, right? It's now seeing Buffett's portfolio there. And probably it's going to take a while because, again, it's different processes. It's fetching database, etc. It now completed the computer use. So we'll see if now it can generate the code. All right, so it seems it's generating code there. Although you guys can see it, I know what's going on the back end, and we're still seeing messages. And it's doing all of these process. And making a reliable data system it's very complex. It's not only prompting, it's making it run this code in the cloud, execute the code, etc. Sometimes it can be a lot of information. So putting all of these systems together, it's hard. It's executing code there. And sometimes if it's a lot of code, it can take a long time. Sorry, a lot of data, it can take a long time. So you just need to be patient until the process finishes. It's just taking a long time for the code to run. Probably it's just processing a lot of information. Alrighty, so it finished. And now we have the recommendation. Analyze the first 10 tweets, recommended stocks to invest in, Apple, Amazon, AVGO, cost, etc. These 9 stocks are currently showing bullish momentum with prices trading above their 20-day moving averages. Hold recommendations: AMD, JPM, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. So these are a buy, these are a hold. These stocks are currently trading below their, so these ones I should not invest in because they're below their 20. This is so cool. Note, 5 of the mentioned stocks, GOG, BRT, HIMS, Oscar, and SK, were not found in your European database, which is fine. And these analyses are based on, and this is the code that it ran. Let's take a look. We can see all the code in here. That's awesome. I can schedule this code if I upgrade my plan, but everything is right there. And actually, let's take a look. It's not hard coding my credentials. It's using the in variables. And this is based on the long investor. So nothing else is hard coded or anything. So that was it. That's the demo. I hope you like it. Very powerful tool. And please let us know if you have any comments. Best.